everyone. So I hope you listen for today. To our topic. So good morning again. So I hope you participate. So I have here 4 images which describes our topic for today, and I would like you to look on the TV, everyone. So here are 4 images that describes our topic for today. So has anyone have an idea? So the first picture, so what is it? This one. Okay, so it's learners. How about the second picture? Burden? Another word. Problems. Challenges. Okay, so difficulties. How about the third and fourth picture? What does it describe? War and also poverty, conflicts, wars. Okay, so what do you think is our topic for today? Okay, so our topic for today is learners in difficult circumstances. So, good morning again. I am Bianca Jairi Ponpon Kiambo. So, I'm your first reporter. So, learners in difficult circumstances, this refers to students who are facing challenging situations that may impact their learning process. These circumstances can be diverse and include financial hardship, personal or familiar issues, or being in a challenging and learning environment. So learning in difficult circumstances means that these are learners that having a hard time participating in school. So as the picture says, diba, at war, poverty, and also these are the learners that dili sila able, or they can participate to school because of their situations. So is that clear? Okay, so here are the kinds of difficult circumstances. So living in remote places, victims of war, products of broken family, street children, children from improvised family, and victims of abuse. So, I think that everyone is familiar, di ba? Sa mga kinds of difficult circumstances that children in the Philippines are experiencing, di ba? Okay. So, the first difficulty or circumstances that children are here in Philippines, or especially in Palampon, are experiencing. So the first is living in remote places. Kindly read, everyone.
These are learners who reside in isolated or geographically distant areas, often with limited access to educational resources and opportunities.
Okay, so living in remote places. So this means that here also in Palampon, we are napoy mga students na nag-live na sa remote places. Like, di ba ang remote places kay can't access. So, isolated area. So, hindi tayo siya ma-access sa education or sa educational institution such as rural areas or small villages, di ba? So, some might have an experience going there, di ba? So, and also, remote islands where the availability of schools, teachers, and educational infrastructure may be limited. So, kaning mga areas bitaw, like rural areas like sa bukid, far-flung areas, di ba? Like sa bukid, di ba naman nahibawan diri sa Palampon. Like for example, San Roque, Bilen, Canduac, sakdakan, naod na po. So, adto pa makita ilang baryo, which is dili accessible sa teachers dayon. Di accessible sa teachers, dili siya accessible sa mga sakyanan, di ba? Kay lisod ang agianan. San Roque. Okay, so San Roque. And also, di ba ka ng Belen?
Yes.
Di ba? Kabate dyan ko na kanang mga teachers sa una, kay kanang mga daanan ng teachers, kay mo sila na isud kayo ato ang Belen. Isud, kapoy ato ang Belen. Di ba? Also, here in kanang remote islands, di ba? So, here in the Philippines, still, naghapon tayo mga remote islands. Di ba? Islands, di ba? Like, for example, Batanes. Okay, Batanes. Napoy ka ng Camotes, di ba? Okay. So, learners in remote places face unique challenges due to their geographical isolations. So, first challenge is limited access to schools. Remote areas may have scarcity of schools, making it difficult for students to access formal education. So, this can result in long travel distance and transportation difficulties. So, what I said, di ba, last time. So, wala sila yung classroom at to. So, this result that students are kanang mapugos sila kay they want to go to school. Mapugos sila o batas. Mapugos sila o tabok o lake or river. Di ba ang sate? O sapa, di ba? So, mapugos sila like parehaan lang na sa islands. Gusto man sila mga eskwela. So, mapugos sila o sakay o bangka. Di ba? If kanang they want to go to school. So, which is too risky for them. Because they are only children. Diba? Okay, so any clarifications? Next challenges is lack of qualified teachers. Remote areas often struggle to attract and retain qualified teachers. This can lead to a shortage of skilled educators who can provide quality education to students. So, here, because nagpuyo man sila sa remote area or far-flung area, so, dili sila ka-retain. Dili sila makapastay o teacher dito. Diba? So, kung hago siya, kay misang pa ang teacher ato. So, moto sa una, ay maraghan to siguro karon gikuan siya na sa division, sa DepEd, especially here in Palungkon, na ang mga bagong teachers kay ato nila ibutang sa bukid. Diba? Mostly. Because they want na naay mo stay ato. Kay mostly baya kay mo occur diha na magpuyo na lang ang teacher ato. So, mura bitaw kapuyan ang teacher sa na they are living here in the poblasyon, di ba? So, muna, mapilitan sila na ato sila mo teach. But, gining maka-teach na sila nito, kapuyan sila. So, maniguro sila file na muari sila sa lungsod.
Which is, hindi sila qualified teachers.
Oo, mostly, di ba? Okay, so, ang mabutang ato kay, dili bitaw sila good season. Kay, bago pa ba sa, wala sila na-expose. Wala sila na-expose kung isang pag-handle na. As what Ma'am Ethel said, bitaw na katong na seminars para sa multi-grade. Because kanang supposed to be ang teachers ato kay season sila kay dahil good ang environment sa bukid, di ba? Or sa islands. So next is, any questions? Okay, so next is limited educational resources. Remote locations may have limited access to educational materials such as textbooks, libraries, and technology. This can hinder students' ability to engage in independent learning and access up-to-date information. So here, as what I said, di ba, na multi-grade. So they have limited school building infrastructures. So muna, mahimong multi-grade. What if duhar as what I heard sa una na sa instruction ang ilang adto. Di ba? Oo, isod niya also, diri man ko sa palungkon kay naniguro ang mga tao na balhin sila diri sa daghang tao. So, mo ko'y mag-result kay gamay ra population adto. So, mo ni diri lisod ang infrastructure, lisod ang pag-construct sa infrastructure, and also limited ilang textbooks because dili sila tagaan o buan sa government, di ba? And also libraries and technology, so students can experience the sa una, di ba? Bisag ka nang nag-anam-anam na o ka-develop, nag-use the computer, kung ang computer baka mapag TV. So wala sila ingato because they are living in remote areas. So dili ang students, they are not fully developed about the informations na kanang being update. Kaya di ba i-update ba yun na ang learning dapat ma-learn sa bata. Di ba i-update ba yan siya? Which is kanang naa sa remote places, hindi sila ka-access anak. Okay, any questions or something to add? None? Okay, so let's proceed. So next is connectivity issues. Remote areas may have limited or unreliable internet connectivity, making it challenging for students to access online platforms and resources. So as what I said sa pinakauna, so walay internet. So students can have like, di ba sa TTL, yung muna, we use technology to have a better instruction or better learning experience for the students, which is hindi na ma-access diri sa remote places. Any questions? Okay, so let's proceed. So the fifth is cultural and linguistic diversity. So remote areas often have diverse cultural and linguistic background. So here, teachers maglisod sila which they have to have many approaches to teach children kay linguistic and cultural diversity. Kay malay mo, nagtudlo ka doon sa mga badyo, they have their own language, di ba? Oh. So, maglisod ang teacher. Kaya may magbisaya ka niya, not all of them can understand Bisaya. Not all of them, especially elementary, because not all of them can use English and also Filipino, di ba? So, Mona, teacher is required to create her own approach to have students to learn, di ba? Okay. So, daghan kaya tao ganang klase-klase diri sa mga people na, mga indigenous people, di ba? So, any questions? Okay, so the strategies are distance learning, mobile or modular learning, community involvement, teachers training and support, and infrastructure development. So, distance learning, di ba? Kung na tawag this distance learning, so we can apply technology, but impossibly, di ba, they have connectivity issues. Also, they have connectivity issues, so we can also apply modular learning, which mobile or modular learning, which is offline apps, or we can use also modular, di ba? As what we use during pandemic. And next is community involvement. Why community involvement? Because teachers can also use the community to teach children, di ba? Nabi, what if ang kapitan, nakakuan pa na ang kapitan, di ba, musugod siya na ari sa ilang balay na himong kung di ilang payag, ilang ipahimong classroom. Kung wala dyan classroom, di ba? So, kanang community involvement also kay dili man ma-create ang school kung may community. Di ba? Okay, so teacher training and support. So, what I have said kanina na because kanang teachers kay baguhan pa sila sa ilang field, which is nabutang sila sa multi-grade or sa sa far-flung areas, so kinahanglan sila og development to be qualified to handle multi-grade. And also, infrastructure development, as what I said, na multi-grade classroom. So, tulo ka grade level, sige buta sa classroom. So, they need infrastructure development. And also, they need kanang proper road. What if ang mga bata at pa sila sa pikas kanang baryo, eskwela. So, they need na hatagan sila og pathway for them to be safe. Ginahanglan sila tulay para makaagi sila. Diba? So, muna, mahimong available ang education for them. So, any questions? Clarifications? Add-ups? Wala. Okay, so, I trust na you get it clear? Okay, so, a little break of life. Okay, so next is number 2, victims of war. So these are learners whose education has been disrupted due to conflict, insurgency, and violence. So which is this? So naka-experience ang Philippines and income. Okay, so that because of violence daw. So these children's futures are stopped in their tracks as they face life-threatening situation and serve disruption to their daily lives. So, because of war, the children's dreams or children's what they want to achieve are being stopped, diba? Because of the impacts of war to them. So, the first impact, any questions? Yes. Insurgency kanang konti, di ba? Violence. Ang insurgency kay kanang bitong interruption because of kanang violence, if am I right? But kanang we can freely search. Okay. So next is the impact because of war. So impact. So children drop out of school, pull out of school. So due to the dangers and instability caused by war, many children are forced to leave school. So because of war, so the disruption in their education can have long-term impact to their future opportunities and potential. So because of war or violence in their places, children are withdrawn to school. So mundak sila. So, kaya because, malamang, may eskwela ka, di ba? May eskwela ka niya, kanang nag-war sa inyo ka. So, because of that, many children have lost opportunity na. Okay, hindi ba sa mga kuan dahil makakope up sa impact sa war. So, they are forced to leave school. Maybe 2 years, di ba? So, in the span of 2 years, supposed to be they would maka-up ilang grade level. But, because of war, mawa na tanan. So, ma-disrupt ang ilang learning. So, muna na withdrawal sa pag-school sa mga children. So, the second one is schools are often targeted. So, in conflict zones, schools are often targeted, making them unsafe places for children. Okay, so, di ba, schools are often targeted. So, mostly during, I have read an article, mostly sa ibang, sa Marawi, di ba, sa Mindanao, mostly ang i-first bomb kay hospitals and schools.
Yes.
Because they have, mas dako ang casualty. Kung ara, di ba? Mas dako ang casualty. Nya ang school ba kay during Yolanda, di ba ang school kay adto ba ang mulikas, di ba? Adto mo flee sa kanang inigbagyo. So mo na sa war. But because of that kanang ilang buhaton, because of that rule, mas unahon o bombing ang schools. Especially elementary schools, kaya mo may mas daghan, di ba? So mo na, risky ang schools. So, may mong risky sa mga bata and also teachers. Teaching staff, di ba? So, next is, children are at risk. So, out of school children have ECE targets. Okay, so children are at risk. So, out of school children are easy targets of abuse, exploitation, and recruitment by our forces and groups. So, di ba, children are at risk. Ganida, di ba what I have told you, na iuna ba ang mga school. So, also, if na sila sa gawas, they are also at risk. So, pag-ausod sila sa ilang mga parents. Di ba? Kay, during at war, kaya kay dahil pagputog, bitaw na mga tao, kay puno na siya ang unahon. Bisag mga innocent sila. So, muna, children are at risk. Okay, so any questions? Okay, so next, let's go to strategy. So, digital based, facilitated by technology, and non-digital based. So, here kay, as what I have said sa pinakauna, pwede ba ito maka-access ng digital? So, you can also use digital based para learners kay maka-access na po sila of learning materials and also that digital which is modular or offline apps for them to access, di ba? Kaya usay mo doon, naman yung mga estudyante na eager. So, or as a teacher, you must let students to have their opportunity, di ba? So, next is inspirational. So, inspirational is, I experienced it during Yolanda. So, na-stop na so ang klase kaya naguba ang mga classroom. So, imbis ang itutog sa mga bata kay kanang subject, mathematics, science, English, di ba, mga ingana. So, suppose ang gibuhat mo nito kay kanang kantami o mga songs, children's songs that kanang help us to be inspired na to live on, di ba? Mga children's songs, magkuan may mga stories for us dili bitaw healthy ang pag-eskwela, di ba? Maghimumig mga art katong kuan na ka-experience kay nung ko like katong song na katong kanang kuan siya ba sa song bitaw siya sa kanang bahan then kuan man to siya naghimumi og ship na if the storm, ibig ka ng bisag storm, giprotektaan mi ni God. So, nga na ba? So, you create a lesson that can encourage students to live on bisag na sila sa difficult circumstances such as war. So, hands-on and practical. So, also in hands-on and practical. So, pwede naman ato lang sila sa camp, paghaan nila, magtuon sila, ang imong itudlo sa ilaha kay which is kanang sa pagluto, sa pag-survive, sa pagpilo, ingana yung itudlo sa ilaha na maka-hands-on sila sa ilahang mga pamuyan or ilahang gilikasan, di ba? And also fun-based. So fun-based because we have to create happiness. I mean, we have to create na kanabitaw ang mga bata kay hindi sila ma-stress doon sa ilang situation. Mahimo noon sila kanang ma-happy sila ba for once in your lesson. Diba? So, that's all. So, any questions, clarifications, add-ons, inquiry, all. Inquiry naman. Query. Okay. Wala. Okay, so, because, diba, because of this, even children are in difficult circumstances, we have the implementation of EFA, which is Education for All. So it is possible for teachers or the government to let students to have a quality education even if they are experiencing that kind of circumstances. So, and also ADM, diba? So ADM is for children to have, diba, alternative delivery mode. So, there maybe specify na even children are having hard experiencing those what I discussed, it is possible for them to have a quality education because education is for all and children, especially children, they have the rights to access education. And as teachers, as future teachers, we must make it happen that we will not discriminate any children from education because that is their right. So I hope you learn something from what I have said and be inspired teachers in the future. Thank you.